Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 81. This is discussing episodes 4 through 8. Yes, roughly 6 episodes here. Actually, it's 5. Now, all these episodes, unlike the first 3, which were basically lead into each other, these 5 don't do that. Nope. Now, in the case of episode 4, this one has the debut of a new vehicle that, as far as I can tell, does make appearance barely after this. It's the debut of the vehicle, the Spin Cycle. The story of this one is that a kid who's a big fan of the Formula Race Company contacts them, and Taka picks it up. Yeah, he picks the phone, which I would think that basically his boss. Apparently, according to them, when they became full-time Maskman, they gave up the racing thing. Which I would think they would keep it. Otherwise, though, how the heck can he afford to basically run this operation without a basic income? Maybe because the whole thing with the underground itself was basically, well, maybe it's self-employed. Now, this is also by far, when it comes to Super Sentai that I've seen anyways, where unlike in normal other Super Sentai that involves a human with all this technology, now with the exception of Denzi Man and a few others, this is actually probably the first one I've seen where you have one of the Ranger teams where they're pretty much financed by a businessman. Which is something you would see in the Power Rangers franchise. Yes, you see it a lot of the time. We have a businessman who runs this particular organization. Of course, he's earned a rank as commander, per se, but it's unknown if he works for the government. It's not really clarified if he does. No. It's just that the agency he works for, that runs them, are just the Light Squadron. Yes, are they some agency? Well, aside from the fact that basically the ones who run the whole thing of as for how the heck they're getting the financing, it's never actually explained exactly how the heck that is. That's one thing I forgot to mention. Also, I thought it was kind of weird, I didn't mention this before, that why did it take 3 episodes to finally show off the actual morphing sequence? Yes, because all the Super Sentai I've seen generally do it in the very first episode, including Jack. Every single one I've seen do this. For some reason, they wait until frickin' episode 3 to do this. I'm like, really? Okay. So, the kid's on the way there with his father, and then they caught into this strange phenomenon involving a tunnel. Yes, a frickin' tunnel. Which has been warped by the Underground Empire. So, what's the plan to deal with it? Like, what they try to use one of their own vehicles? Like, but doesn't get absorbed. Doesn't get stuck there. It gets shot right out. And like, how the heck is this possible? Because it's not exactly regular car technology. It was built by a private company. So, like, okay. So, and of course, the kid wanted to see the Formula One race car. So what they do with the car is something unusual. Since the engine is not, since it's designed by the Red Mask, they pretty much retrofit into one of the Mask's private vehicles, the Spin Cycle, which the Red Mask uses it and destroys the phenomenon, and of course they take out the monster along the way. Yep, and of course the kid shows off his drawings, and as for if the drawings that come to play later on, don't know. I'll find out later on, but that's quite interesting. Yeah, the kid just hands off his drawings to Red Mask, and the kid's never seen again. By the way, there's another kid that pops up less than 2 episodes later. Except this kid basically shows off a move. Now, before I get to that one, I should probably talk about episode number 5. This focuses on Blue Mask, the short swordsman, who says he's 16. Yeah, appearance-wise, I can buy the fact he's 16, just by his height alone. Because, yes, I have seen 16-year-olds about that height. They're not basically 6 feet tall giants. So, he pretty much just basically just does whatever the heck he wants. Just does his little training. And then, of course, he stumbles across this flying skull that basically flies around. Yeah, it turns out it's attached to one of the monsters, which, of course, causes people to switch faces, which doesn't affect him for some reason because it's not a person next to him. And also, he also ends up fighting one of the female ninja. Yes. Yep. He fights, what is her name here? Oboro. Yes. Ingram herself does briefly appear in the episode. Now, surprisingly, Princess Al, over the course of these episodes, I don't think she technically appears. Maybe she's briefly seen for a cameo, but yeah, but she doesn't really do anything in these episodes. Yeah, that's the thing. She basically is put on ice, and then she's not seen again for, well, probably not for a lot of the series run. So, he does end up basically find a way to destroy the monster, and of course he battles the female ninja, and of course he knows who she is because they fought back in the first episode, so of course she knows who he is. Who he knows he is. It's something though these two do not develop a attraction to each other. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, they did it in Car Ranger, where the female lead fell for the red Car Ranger. Yeah, she fell for him, and he recapitulated those feelings. Now, surprisingly, that relation didn't go anyplace because they did nothing with it. I thought it would have been interesting, but nope, nothing. Here, it just basically brief fight, and then of course the monster, and of course they summon the robot, defeat him. The monster I thought was really interesting, but in the case of episode 6, this one's very interesting. We have the character, we have basically Red Mask sort of given an ability. He runs this kid who basically stumbles across a plan by the other Empire to basically create these tunnels underneath Obra City. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name, where they plan to blow the damn thing up. And he stumbles across it by sheer accident. Now, apparently, he was basically reading at a temple, and all of a sudden a column, barrier was about to follow him, and then of course Red Mask comes up and punches the thing with his bare hand. Like, oh, you got the god's hand. He's like, no, just got cracks in it, which appearance-wise, yeah, I could buy that. Then he talked to his mentor, and his mentor is like, the commander is like, yeah, it exists. It's completely true. The whole thing, God's hand, is not some make-believe thing for karate. It's completely real. And according to him, Red Mask does the capability to use it. Yes, he does. He just got to have faith. And the way his God's hand works is that he can basically he becomes sort of like Iron Fist. Yeah, just squeeze his fist and become like handcuffed with fire and then basically destroy the Digger monster. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. The boy himself is briefly captured. Just fucking cough out. Yeah. Briefly captured by the Younger Empire. Eventually he's freed, and then of course they have the monster, and that's it. I thought the God's Hand thing was interesting. I mean, it's a good episode focused on the Red Mask, but I'd say if you get past those episodes, this technically is the second one where Red Mask is kind of the focus ranger for this one. Like 5 is focused on Blue Mask. And what about episode 7? 7 is focused on Black Mask. Yes. Where he falls in love with the woman who he helped defend her against a couple bikers. Yes. And so the plot of this one is to have the monster they kidnap the girl just prior to going on their date, because they agreed to go on a date with each other because they ran each other again. And he traps her in his stomach. Yes. Locked a human woman in a monster's stomach. Walking off the table, they're free, no problem. Of course, go to the side, And then, of course, the monster destroyed. I thought the whole love plot thing in this one was actually quite interesting. It was quite by far. I like our love plots. I don't really think they're a bit silly. And they basically drag out too long. This was fine. It's basically Kenta doing his own thing. Yeah, from what I can tell so far of the characters, that Red Mask is basically a bit hot-headed and basically does think about his lover, who just happens to be a princess. In the case of the Blue Mask, who is the swordsman of the group, he doesn't like people poking fun of his height. In the case of Kenta, the Black Mask, he is a ladies' man. Yep, he loves ladies. Yep. But in the case of the other two, the ladies themselves, I read online apparently that Yellow Mask, Hikari, she is a ninja. She does some shuriken one episode, but yeah. The other one, I'm not really sure about the Pink Mask yet. So, that was a very interesting one for episode 7. Yes. Episode 8 is quite interesting one where it's basically Red Mask, Yellow Mask, and Black Mask get frozen by the monster of the episode, and they have to go find a way to basically defrost them. First, they try various devices in the base to basically defrost them. Doesn't work. So Ingram contacts them to say, I have the cure. Come and fight me. And lucky enough that I've never seen this weapon before that Pink Mask used, because they don't really use the weapons on some of them very much. Well, her thing is that she has a long ribbon. That's sort of like a long whip that she uses to basically grab the flower out of the prince's hand, aka the woman. Grabs out of his hand. It's a woman. And they have basically Blue Mask. That's why having the crap beat out of him. He basically is able to rush back to base and use that flower combination with a defroster to basically defrost the other three who are frozen. While Pink Mask have the crap beat out of her by a monster and several enemy generals. And luckily enough, the other ones basically come in, save her, and, well, they later on destroy the monster, and that's the episode for you. Even though, yes, I'm kind of breezing along through these so far 8 episodes, but basically the way I describe them is literally like a lot of the main plot of these episodes. Yes. Now, you might think, okay, who is your focus character of episode 8? Because you can't think if starting with episode 4 they would do this. For this one, I would probably say it's both for basically Blue Mask and Pink Mask, because they're the stars of the episode. But as for which one, I don't really know. It's basically a team effort for this one. Yes. So, oh yeah, by the way, the episode ends with them basically where you have the 3 who got frozen get captured, and, well, who got frozen have to basically do some punishment exercises in order to, well, basically just try and go with the fact they got frozen. In fact, we went too slowly. I can't maybe probably have punishing the other 2, but why the leader? Why? Because he failed to anticipate the fact he's slow? Seriously. Yeah, walk up the stairs basically almost on your freaking knees. Yeah. Here's the thing. Like, basically crouching down, walking upstairs, it hurts. Seriously. Hurts your knees after quite a while. Trust me. Going upstairs basically does hurt after. If you go repeatedly, it hurts after a long period of time. But it was the way to end the episode. But I gotta say, these episodes so far, like 4 had a really good like basically 4 and 6 had really good endings. Like, I gotta say, the endings this one basically seems like very happy, not like, oh crap, let's just basically prepare for the very next episode. Well, it seems like they were doing that for the first 3 episodes. But here, we're now, I think that started with episode 4. You can think of basically the first 3 episodes as a 3-part beginning for this thing. Because each episode leads into the very next. But basically, we finish 3, it does not lead to 4. Nope, it just becomes standalone again. Now you might be asking, with the exception of the epilogue, which by the way is 5 episodes, well, I'll get to it. Is there any more multi-parters in this batch? in this particular thing? Don't think so. One thing that's really weird though about, well, the masks themselves, none of them get any last names. Yeah, as far as I can tell. Yeah, as far as I can tell, they never actually explained why the heck that as for when the heck next multiple, first multiple happened, I don't really know. Yeah. Yeah. But otherwise, though, that's pretty much it for this particular review. Now, my next view, because I'll get time to do it tonight, I'm going to do Fire Force next, and then we're going to do Shaman King, and then be right back to this. As of right now, because I got to episode 8, because I'm going to take a break at episode 25, I have exactly 17 episodes left before I take a break. But overall, for this whole entire run, because it's 51 episodes, Maskman is, I have exactly 43 episodes left. So yeah, 43 episodes left overall, but before I take my break, 17 episodes. So, until we see you in the next video, bye.